Testing, test, test. Test, test. Test 1, 2.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the regular board meeting information for Adelanto Elementary School District. The day is Tuesday, May the 28th, 2024. 1.02, call to order.
Madam President, the time is 5:30. I'll take roll call. Trustee Stewart?
Present.
Trustee Turner?
Turner present.
Trustee Soto?
Soto present.
Trustee Webster?
Webster present.
Trustee LaFrench?
Love French present. The quorum has been established. 1.04, Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please stand? Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Section 2, adoption of the agenda. Mrs. LeVey, do we have any proposed additions, deletions, and adjustment in the order of business?
Madam President, we do not.
2.02, trustees, I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Webster, I motion to adopt the agenda.
Turner, I second.
Ms. LeVey, please take the vote.
Trustee Soto?
Soto, aye.
Trustee Webster?
Webster, I.
Trustee Turner?
Turner, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
Love French, aye. Motion passed 5-0. Moving on to section 3, cabinet reports. Dr. Albert.
Thank you so much. Couple of pieces. Had the privilege of attending the May Revise workshop with Cabinet, and the information that was presented, it wasn't surprising. They had already sort of pre-identified some of the pieces that were going to be coming out in the May Revise, but it was still good to hear all the components as well as, the impacts that the May Revise is having on our budgets. Had the privilege of speaking at the Teacher Innovation Colloquium on May 17th for our 23-24 celebrated teachers for their induction components. And it was really dynamic being able to hear directly from our inductees about the work that they've been doing this entire year. Each of them selected a problem of practice in their classrooms and walked through, with an audience for us to really be able to understand what they went through this last year and what they learned. And it's all about continuing that professional practice and learning and moving forward. Also had an opportunity to attend the Eagle Ranch retirement celebration. It was a pleasure to join the Eagle Ranch team to help celebrate their retirees. Recognize their decades of service to our students and the community. And then most importantly, on Friday, we reached a tentative agreement with ADTA, pending ADTA ratification and AESD board approval. And that's my report.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, Dr. Dwyzon.
All right, good evening. I do want to start off by thanking our academic services team for their work in preparing for the end of the year celebrations that we had, several of them last week, in fact. We held the Writing and Arts Fair and held 2 parent celebrations. So it's wonderful to see so many parents in attendance to celebrate their children and their accomplishments. We had 143 parents recognized for participating in and completing workshops last Monday. And last Thursday, we had 164 parents that graduated from our PK classes, which were a total of 8 sessions each. So we had 164 parents complete. I would like to highlight the data for parent engagement and gives more kudos to our academic services, our parent engagement team. Last year, about this time, our data showed 672 parents participating in workshop and meetings. And this year, we've tripled that number to 2,287 parents completing workshops, attending meetings, etc. Testing for the school year is completed. We have 3 that remain open until the very last day of school, which is our LPAC, our PFT, which is our physical fitness test, and our district screener, which is iReady. So we are already beginning to get back preliminary data from our testing, and we have already begun working on printing those out, mailing notices to parents about the progress of their children. And one celebration so far I'd like to highlight is that already the LPAC scores, we've already received 155 students who've already, that have been identified, scoring a 4, which is the highest level. And that means these students are now eligible for reclassification. So that's a huge celebration. Our academic services team met with summer school principals today to review enrichment camp logistics. Summer school starts next Thursday. Our summer school teachers and staff will be prepping and getting ready next Monday through Wednesday. And we have 613 students signed up so far, and we will take signups all the way until next Friday, June 7th. So if you need an application, that can be attained in the school office. I would like to invite everyone to our Independent Study Promotion Ceremony, which will be on Friday, May 31st, right here in the boardroom. And then tomorrow will be our Hope Scholars Promotion Ceremony. That's at 1:30 in the cafeteria at Adelanto Elementary School. I'd like to congratulate our coordinator, Rebecca Bykowski. She completed her AXA Curriculum Instruction Leadership Academy, which was 80 hours of intensive work in the area of curriculum instruction. We are proud of her. And just overall, we are very excited to celebrate promotions and end of the year festivities with our school, staff, parents, and we wish everybody a wonderful summer.
Thank you, Dr. Dwyzon. Ms. Gonzalez.
Thank you and good evening, Board of Trustees, Cabinet, and community. As the school year comes to a close, our business services team is deep in closing out the current year and preparing for the new. In part of the preparation, our audit team will be on site next week, working with our fiscal services department and our academic partners. For our interim audit. And just as my fellow cabinet members have mentioned, several accolades, I want to take a minute and recognize Ms. Julie Nichols, our Director of Nutrition Services, and her team for an excellent job they do in providing healthy and nutritious meals to our children and our community. I want to congratulate Ms. Nichols and her team for receiving the 2023 One in a Cantaloupe Melon Award. The 1 in a Million Cantaloupe Award is part of the Farm to Summer Celebration Week, a federally recognized program overseen by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and implemented at the state level by the California Department of Education and Nutrition Services Division. Again, thank you and congratulations to you and your team and your commitment. Last week, we recognized our classified staff for the invaluable contributions they make to our district, their dedication, hard work, and commitment. They are the backbone of our success. They keep our environments clean, safe, and providing essential support that ensures smooth operations. Their efforts are deeply appreciated. Thank you for your unwavering dedication and the positive impact. Your work is integral to our mission, and we are grateful for you. As I mentioned in our last board meeting, Governor Newsom held his annual May revise on May 21st, which confirmed some of the details we had pre-released, which included a COLA of 1.07 for the school year 24-25. Although we did not anticipate any direct cuts to our core LCFF funding, details about the governor's maneuver on funding from 23-24, which is a closed year, do impact us in the years out. I will be providing more details about his May revise at the next board meeting and discussing what that means to our district. Lastly, I want to celebrate all of our students and all of their achievements as we enter into a week of promotions. Their hard work, dedication, and perseverance have been brought to them to this celebratory milestone. They have faced challenges with resilience and turned obstacles into opportunities for growth. This week is to recognize you and your bright future. Continue to dream big, strive for excellence, and make a positive impact. We believe in you and are excited to see all that you will achieve. As always, thank you, and it's a pleasure serving our district.
Thank you. Moving along to section 4, Closed session declarations will be taking items 4.02 through 4.06 into closed session. Section 5, public testimony before closed session. The public comment period is administered by state law and is the point in the meeting set aside for members of the public to share their opinions with the board. Open meeting laws do not permit the board to engage in dialogue or answer questions. Any person wishing to address the governing board on closed session agenda items only must complete and submit an AESD speaker request form 5 minutes before the meeting is called to order. Public comments will only be taken on agenda items during the discussion of those items. The board values public comments, and although the Board of Trustees cannot take action or discuss items not on the agenda, the Board of Trustees listen carefully and appreciate input from the public. Additionally, a public speaker can be cut off for exceeding the allotted time or for willfully causing an actual disruption to the meeting. Before cutting a person off or removing someone, the board will give at least one clear warning. If you were cut off or warned last time, please consider that your warning. Individual speakers are allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each closed session agenda item. The board limits the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes with board consent. The president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentations, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. Ms. LeVay, do we have any speakers for ADTA?
Yes, we do. Madam President, we call on Jennifer Radar.
Good evening, Madam President, Board of Trustees, Dr. Albert, and Cabinet. Good evening to my colleagues and coworkers, parents, and students watching on YouTube. Trustees, I've placed in front of each of you an envelope. Please, if you can, open those envelopes for me. Inside, you will find 2 things, a pen and a blank piece of paper. Board, it is ultimately your responsibility to review and ensure that our district is running safely and without financial inconsistencies. Through your time here, inconsistencies, misreporting, misspending, and all other sorts of inaccurate accounting practices have been allowed and have continued through many, many audit cycles. When you get a report you don't like, you fire the auditor and hire a new firm. At least that's what it looks like from our perspective. Some of these financial decisions, mismanagement, will cost the district millions of dollars in fines or repayments. Your campuses are not safe, and they continue to deteriorate, yet we hear little from you on fixing these issues. It is also your job as an elected official to continue to put the needs of our students and community before your own. I understand your job here is not easy, and governance training is ongoing, but according to every expert I've spoken to, other local school boards, and many advisors, $15,000 for each of you each year is grossly over budgeted. We are paying for your family vacations. All of the various consent agenda items and the LCAP and the budget and the LCFF are certainly a lot to look over, consider, remember, and ultimately approve or deny. No one denies that your job is a complicated one. Please now, I want you to refer to your blank paper in front of you. Some of our teachers have been given this exercise, this task, the one I'm about to give you, in training modules or as a reflective activity. There are 2 stages when working within education, and it's apparent when you move from one to the other. Please, if you can, try to remember your why and write it down on one side. Why did you want to become a school board member in the first place? Why did you run run for office, why did you begin this journey? I'm sure, I would hope, that none of you signed on wanting to be in opposition to the community, against teachers, or desirous of running this district into the ground, and running it in such a way that keeps our schools some of the worst in the state and our district the least desirable in the high desert. Still, somehow, here we are. Your path has led you right here, opposing the community and teachers, and continue to hire managers and firms who continually keep us on the bottom. If your why no longer matches your actions, attitude, or effort that you put into this district, then you have reached the second stage of the path in education. You should use the other side of the paper to begin writing your letter of resignation, as you are no longer serving your community and its students, and you should allow someone else to step forward. Thank you.
Ms. LeVay, do we have anyone from CSEA?
We do. Diane Lynn?
Good evening, Madam President LaFrench, trustees, Dr. Albert, cabinet, and everyone here in the audience, and everybody, I guess it's now YouTube, right? Well, when I pulled up today, I noticed there was no one picketing or nothing hoopla going outside. I did know before Dr. Albert mentioned that they had settled or have a TA with the teacher, so I'm happy to hear that. That's fantastic. However, here we are, classified staff. We haven't settled. We have to come back June 7th. So I just want to say it's terrible that over 400 of your dedicated classified staff do not know what's going to happen until summer. Some of them are going to be on vacation. A lot of them won't be able to go on vacation because of the increase of the fees for the insurance. So I don't know what to say. We'll be back, I guess, on June 7th to negotiate. I'm hoping that that we do good. Our classified staff deserves it. Thank you. I don't know if I'll see you again for the summer as far as board meetings, so I want to wish you all a nice summer, and I hope you get out and go on vacation. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. LeVay, do we have any audience members?
We do. The board calls on Viviana Sheehy.
Hello, everybody. I wasn't really prepared to give a good speech, an educated speech. I'm just going by what I'm seeing, and it's ridiculous that the teachers of Adelanto have to plead and come and ask for something that already belongs to them. All the cities around have already settled. This shouldn't be happening. Everyone sitting here, I'm pretty sure you're on payroll, on salary, you're getting paid. The teachers that have come throughout all these other meetings, they're sitting there the same way they do at school. They do extra and they get paid the same. It's not fair. It's not fair at all for none of them. And I brought all my children because I want them to witness what takes place. And the dream of being a teacher is probably no more because of everything that's going on here. It's a shame. I stood out there in the hot sun, me and my husband, we passed out over 100 flyers for not only staff, the staff already knew, but for parents to come and plead and voice their opinion. It seems like I get it now. I see why the teachers probably feel undervalued. It's the lack of support, the lack of communication. You got Rent-A-Cop over there, you're probably paying him when that money could be allocated for the teachers. And it's a shame, and I'm sorry that I'm stirring the pot and I'm probably not educated enough and I don't have the big words. I had one, but since the tentative agreement was on the table for tomorrow, we're gonna hold back. But it's unjust. It's unjust. Ms. Love French, nice seeing you. I know you were started over there in Bartlett at the Head Start, but I've always been active. Me and my husband, we have kids in and out of these schools, and this is the worst. Teachers wear a lot of hats. They're nurses, they're mental health. I've been there. I've seen the way they devote their time and their passion, and it's getting tiring. I could see why they could get tired. Go to McDonald's at this point. They'll probably get more love there because it's not happening here. And I hope you guys, whatever agreement it is, I hope it's not 1%, 2%, 3%. I hope, bring it up. It's not fair. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President, the board calls for Robert Sheehy.
Good evening, board, all board members, security, all the teachers, and the children in the community that are here. I'm here because this is super important to me. I've been at Head Start. I've been in the Adelanto School District for a number of years with a number of children coming through the system. And knowing that I see all the teachers, I see them in the community, I see them at all the events, and it's probably a very gut-wrenching situation for me to know that so many districts have settled. And I'm happy now to know that there's a tentative agreement on the table, but I kind of shudder to think that it may drag out, because I think the teachers and CSEA, they don't have a choice. If they're undervalued, what can they do? And who will suffer if any of them are undervalued? Your community, your children, the future of this community. Adelanto has struggled long enough, and it's time for us to build at the bottom, all the way up. Our teachers are. That's the only leverage we have to have a better community. That's it. So I hope everyone can really look at it from a long-term perspective and say, Adelanto is going to be better than it was. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Madam President, the board calls on Brenda Congo, Natalie Guevara, Desiree Martinez from Talion Academy.
Yes.
Good evening, President LaFrench, trustees, executive cabinet, and everyone joining. I am Principal Brenda Congo of Talion High Desert Academy, and I'm here to express my appreciation to you that Talion has been able to support students in their alternative educational journey. I'm here this evening with Student Council advisors, Ms. Ross and Ms. Princess, who have guided students to pursue leadership opportunities. Also here are Student Council President Natalie Guevara and Vice President Desiree Martinez, who are also graduating seniors with the class of 2024.
Good evening. I began Talion in August of 2022. At that time, I was a freshman and soon to be a sophomore. On my first day, I immediately enjoyed the shift of welcoming environment. The teachers and staff have always made me feel comfortable and heard. Whenever I needed help with a certain subject or assignment, I knew I could count on them to guide me through it. Through Talion, I also made a ton of friends that I now talk to on a daily basis. Now I am a senior graduating this year, and I'm beyond happy that Talion was a school for me.
Talion would like to invite you to join our graduation ceremony June 20th at 6 p.m. where Trustee Miguel Soto Jr. will be our commencement speaker. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have some invitations and a handy jar opener for you.
Thank you.
Madam President, the board calls on Adriana Young.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adriana Young, and I'm a paraprofessional for the speech in Columbia Middle School. And thank you for receiving my speech. In the school that I work, the principals open the doors and say, we have to do better. So we know we are not perfect. So whatever we are trying, something is not right, we always trying to do better. Now I'm asking you, are you doing better? Last year we received a 12% increase in our salary, and the insurance wasn't increased like it is now. And my question is, are you doing better this year or worse with our salaries and our insurance? Also, we work with the students, and we tell it all the time, pay forward. So it's the phrase we hear constantly in education. And tell them that everything has consequences. It can be good consequences or bad consequences. So when the teacher treats the aides and the students in a good way, the teacher and the students and the aides also treat each other better, and is reflected in the lives of our friends and our families. So it becoming a forward change that will never end. So why the administrations don't use the same philosophy towards their employee salary? Don't you think everything could go smoothly and the work will be better? Thank you. I really believe in that.
Thank you.
Madam President, the board calls on Kim Smith.
Good evening, Interim Superintendent Dr. Albert and Cabinet. Good evening, Madam President Love French, as well as the board members, everyone in the audience, and everyone that's on YouTube. This won't be as eloquent of a speech as I usually give. I just kind of scribbled it out. I just want you guys to know that as I stand here today, I have my 5th grade team at Victoria McGathan Elementary School putting on a huge display. I'm hoping that you guys will be able to make it tomorrow at 8 a.m. for our 5th grade promotion. It is something that we do every year, giving to our students just tirelessly in everything that we do. I know that we have a TA, and as I'm hearing, CSCA does not. We'll see what that TA does look like. We'll find out tomorrow. The members will. However, I do know with CTA, we like to say an injury to one is an injury to all. And as I believe that CSCA is our family, treating them with the utmost respect is equal to treating us with the same. So I hope that that does work out for CSCA and they receive what they do truly deserve. Every year, we, the teachers and CSCA, the staff, we go above and beyond to do not only what's best for the students, but we go well above that, not only to meet their needs, but to exceed their needs as well. So I hope that we don't have to keep doing this because it is very tiresome. And like I said before, we spend our time decorating and making things look nice and great for the students, for the parents when they come in, for the promotions, for any of the extras that we have for our students. And it is a lot of hard work, dedication, and a lot of love that we have when we put into what we do. However, you know, we want to make sure that we're receiving that love back. So just in ending, I hope that we don't have to continue to beg for this. I am happy to see that we have a TA, so we've come to an agreement. And I'm hoping that in the end, that is an agreement that shows our worth and shows that you guys really do believe that we're worth what we know that we are. Thank you.
Madam President, that concludes audience members for tonight.
Thank you. Recess to closed session. Trustees, can I get a motion?
Webster, I motion to close.
Stewart, I second.
Ms. LeVey, please take the vote.
Trustee Soto?
So do I.
Trustee Webster?
Webster, I.
Trustee Turner?
Turner, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee La French?
Love French, aye. Motion passed 5-0. The time is 6 o'clock. We're in the closed session. Thank you.